Hi, well, good morning. Welcome to Start the Day Live from Start the Day from Felixstowe. And my name's Chris. It is Monday, the 5th of June, 2023. You can't believe it, can you? And I'm just doing another little experiment to see how we can get on by doing live news 2 or 3 times a week. What we're going to try and do is actually bring you things that are happening, things that are interesting, things that are going on, and some kind of standard stuff I guess you'd call it, that you need to know to get your day going. So let's have a look first of all at the weather. What's the BBC say? Oops, I say that's bad. It's got the wrong title on it. How exciting! So this is the weather forecast from the mighty BBC. And what do they say? Well, they say it's going to be not a bad day. It's not going to be particularly hot or anything. It's going to be about 15 degrees, probably be a bit less than that with the wind chill factor, because of course we're back to having that wonderful northeasterly breeze. So that means that knocks the top of the temperature, if you like, and it gets fairly chilly, especially when you're down on the seafront. But there you go. Okay, next item we've got is the tides. Now that's got the right title on it. I wonder what I did wrong there, but such is life. Okay, we've got high water today at about 1:15. Low water has happened already. Not particularly big tides. Our highest spring tides are about 4 meters. I think the tide is currently rising towards a spring tide. Don't forget, we get a spring tide once every 2 weeks. Keep your eye out for it when it gets very high, but we'll bring you the news when it is at its highest. So there you go. If you're going paddle boarding, kayaking, or sailing, don't forget that the tidal flow up until high water is in a southerly direction. So from the Deben entrance down towards the Orwell entrance, it's flowing in that direction until high water, and then after high water, it starts to flow north. Okay, let's get rid of that guy and see what else is happening today. We're going to look at one thing that really interested me was that we don't seem to have a great deal of information on what's happening in town. You have to hunt it down. So what I'm going to try and do is put things all in one place. Will that work or not? I have really no idea. We're going to give it a go and see where we go to from that one. I'm just going to do one more little, what can we call it? I guess you'd call it a little technical thing. I'm going to do that before I do anything else, because otherwise I shall feel like I deserve a slap round the kisser for not doing my job properly. There we go. So, okay, so let's get back to that and just say, what are we doing? We're going to have a look at the Spa Pavilion this morning. We're going to have a look at the cinema, at the Palace Cinema, see what they've got on there. And we'll let you know that in just a moment. We'll also bring you a bit from yesterday's truck show at Foxhall Stadium. Got a little video clip to show you the kind of atmosphere that was there. It was an interesting show to go to. I enjoyed it a lot, so you might as well share some of that with me. So let's go now to what's on this coming week. This week, at the Spa Pavilion, we've got Think Floyd, which is a tribute band, of course, for Pink Floyd, who I remember quite well. I knew someone who played with Pink Floyd. My goodness, that's going back a long way. So that's on this Friday, the 9th of June. It starts at 8 p.m. Tickets are £32, which I think is probably okay for that kind of show. It's a fairly good big show, I think. The next show coming up there is on Saturday, the 10th of June. Tickets £47, and that's Jules Holland and his rhythm and blues band. I think that looks like a jolly good show, actually, to be honest with you. I really like Jules Holland. Saw him once not long ago at Newmarket Races. Excellent show. Okay, so you've got that coming up at the Spa Pavilion. Those two shows are on this coming week. Here's a nice little one for you. And at the Grosvenor Public House, there's a quiz night there on the 7th of June at 8 p.m. You need to be there, I think, well before that to make sure you can get a table, because it gets fairly busy. The Grosvenor, as we all know, is really our town centre pub in Felixstowe. They do a grand job. They've got good grub and nice people working there, so you can have a happy time when you're going for lunch or for an evening meal or for a couple of pints. Nice idea. Hey. I must remind someone they owe me a pint. Can't think of who at the moment, but there you go. Okay, what have we got on at the Palace Cinema this week? Let's take a look at that. We've got The Little Mermaid, which I'm not sure. I don't know anything about that very much. And that's on until the 14th of June. So that's into next week as well. And Fast X, we've got playing until the 8th of June. That's later this week. And then next week, we've got Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. That sounds a bit depressing, doesn't it? I hope it's happier than that. But that's playing from the 9th to the 15th of June. And then we've got Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, playing the 9th to the 15th of June as well. Now, don't forget, if you want to get in touch and let me know what's happening, I'll be delighted to publish it. We're going to try and do this show 2 or 3 times a week. We'll probably do it on a Wednesday and a Friday as well as a Monday. And the more information, the more stuff that's happening that we have, the happier I shall be, and the more we can pass to you. So what's happening today? There's a couple of interesting little things. If you're a ship spotter, then this is happening today. This is a ship called MSC Cayley, photograph taken in the Far East by my friend Vladimir Tonic, who I've known for some years, and his popped this one up. It's a much bigger picture, but I thought I'd just give you a sight of it because that's the KSC Cayley. She's due to be coming into Felixstowe around lunchtime, probably about 12 or 1 o'clock. And this shot was taken at about 8:40 this morning. And it shows MSC Cayley in the Long Sand traffic separation scheme. She's heading towards us. She's not too far away from her first waypoint there. And whoops, excuse me, press the wrong button. And you'll be able to see her come into port probably around between 12 and 1. If you want me to, you can always say, sorry, if you want me to, you can always drop a comment on and say, update us whenever. And I'll try and do that. Happy to do that. Don't have a problem with that at all. So let me know if you want to, and we'll go from there. Okay, so that's the lovely Cayley. And then yesterday I was sent some pictures from the dock, from the port of Felixstowe, and this was at about 5:40. The actual clock time shown there is what the photographer sent to me. And as you can see, the whole port of Felixstowe was absolutely empty. There was one ferry alongside on the ferry berths, but I'm talking about container ships, don't forget. There was one ferry alongside, and the ship you can see in the top photograph, of course, is the mighty dredger Rotterdam, and she's not actually alongside a berth. She is dredging off the berths while there's no one kicking about. Now, I don't honestly know what the story is. I find it a bit worrying when the port of Felixstowe is empty like this, because I wonder what the story is as far as other ports are concerned. I had a look this morning at London Gateway. That was taken about 8:30 this morning. And as you can see, London Gateway had three vessels alongside, all three of her berths occupied. And of course, she's now building, or Gateway is now building, a fourth berth. I'm sorry to say it doesn't show on this photo, on this overhead. But that is due to open in the next few months, the fourth berth at Gateway. I don't know whether they'll be publicising it much when it starts to open. I don't know whether they've got more cranes coming. I assume they probably have. We will wait to see. So there you go. So that's just a little bit of a kind of worrying item, if you like. I'm very keen that our dockers, the guys who work so hard down at the port, keep going, if you like, because it's really important to our town. And it's important to those people and their families, as well as, of course, to the rest of the country, because so many people depend on inbound trade coming in through the port of Felixstowe. Okay, now one more bit of news. We went yesterday to a truck show. I'm going to show you a little clip from that because I think a lot of people missed out on it. One of the things I do want to get across during this clip and in all our other clips is just how much or how keen I am to have what's happening in Felixstowe on this show. If you've got an event happening, get in touch. I'd love to hear from you. That's what I'd really like to do. Lots of events, and when we know that events are happening, I'll try and get along with the camera. Or if you've got some photographs, I'd love to see them. Don't forget, if you want to get involved in any way with Start the Week from Felixstowe, or Start the Day from Felixstowe, should I say, just get in touch. I really would love to hear from you. Don't bother too much about any problems. Just get in touch. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you'd like to see, or tell me what's happening in your neck of the woods. Now, that track show, let's have a look at that. See what you think, and tell me. Oops, I've done something wrong, haven't I? I've done the promo for it, not the video. So here comes the video. Wrong button press. Sorry about that, guys. Now here's a test for you if you're cracking on. This is a Thames Trader, and I can tell you that I used to drive a couple of Thames Traders going back something like 53, 54, something like that years ago. Maybe a bit longer, I don't know. But I used to drive a couple of those, one flatbed and one with a big removal box on the back. And they were fairly all right trucks back then, although they had their little moments. And I think they're immaculate trucks now, looking back, because they gave me an exciting 2 or 3 years in my life. And I have to tell you, I quite enjoyed it all looking back, although the experience at the time I don't think was possibly quite as much fun. But there you go. And there you go, you can see inside the cab if you wish, just have a little look. There you go. No, you're good, get back to it, don't stop for me. No, I've got to ask you this is a serious question. Bearing in mind what you're doing here and now, yeah?
I recognise your voice.
Oh, right, well, there you go. I used to do
Felixstowe.
trucking TV years ago, and Felixstowe stuff.
I used to be at Port Express.
Right. Let me ask you,
Yes, sir.
when you're at home and your missus says to you, would you just clean that up a bit for me? What do you say?
Yes, darling.
Now that...
You got to get your brownie points.
That's right, that's a very sensible man, I have to tell you. Well done, sir, you're doing a lovely job.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. That was the Foxhall Truck, the Fox Fest, I have to say, track show at Foxhall Stadium. That was yesterday, Sunday. If you didn't go and you like trucks and stuff like that, then you missed a bit of a treat. But it will be back next year, just for kind of an overnight and the day on the Sunday, same day, effectively next year. So give it a look if you get the chance. I'll try and publicise it a bit more beforehand next time around as well. And that, I think, about does us for today. Let me just have a little look and a double check to make sure I haven't missed out any of the items I was going to talk to you about. I think we've got it all. Goodness me, I can't believe that I made that mistake with that first title, but I make mistakes because the person who makes no mistakes doesn't make anything much, do they? Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this little show. I hope you've found it interesting. A bit of interesting information, a bit of different stuff than you otherwise get. And it's not radio, it's not TV, but it's kind of the internet. Okay, I'm Chris. This is Start the Day from Felixstowe, and we'll be back, I hope, in a couple of days, probably on Wednesday, and we'll see where we go with that one, because it's from my point of view, it's fun to do, and we'll see whether you want to get involved, because if you do want to get involved, you will be hugely welcome. Okay, I'll see you soon. Take care of yourselves and mind how you go.